So in the previous episode, you have understand that how you can utilize JWT token, and how you have also learned that you can compare your password. Means someone, if someone try to log in, then you can compare the password with the password you have user entered and whatever in the database. After the bcrypt or encrypted, they will encrypt and they will match. If it will match, then it will provide you the token. So you can notice that this is a token, and uh, you provided as a response to the token. Means you have provided a token to response. Now in the next coming video, means in this particular video, I am going to talk about how you can register the thing. It is very, very important. So let's talk about. So if if you means you are writing API for a register the user. Okay, so in this particular case, you need to collect the detail. So request.body, in this way you got the detail like name, email ID, password, and password confirmation. You got it, and now you password and password confirmation you have checked. However, this type of validation is also done at the front end, but at the back end you also need to do the same thing, so that your application will be more secure. Now uh, you to the if condition, you have checked that password is matched or not. If not, then you can provide the response with the 400 error that password do not matched. If email or password is not available, or someone will call the API without this information, email or password, then you can say that must include email or password, like that. Some message you can provide to the user, so user will understand and they can fix the issue. And if everything is perfect, it means that this return statement is not execute. It means that it will come to this point and it will check that user is already available or not. So here user.find, as you know that after you have created a schema through the Mongoose library, using the Mongoose library you have created a schema, and this is a user. Okay, so user.find one, and you have tried to find out the email, that email is already exist or not. If email is already registered, then you can you will check that user is not found or not. If user is found, then you can see here that email is already registered. Did you forget your password? You can provide this type of message to the user. Now user will understand that this email is already registered. Maybe they forget the password, so in that case they will reset. Now if everything is perfect, then this is the user name, email, name, password or email. Now you have to register it, but you can notice that in this particular case password should be in the encrypted form. Okay, you will encrypt, you will hash, and after the hashing you will be saved in your database. So it is important. So how you will hash the password? So for that you have used this library called bcrypt. Okay, you have used this library, and now bcrypt.get salt 10. Okay, now I know that this type of code may be confusing for the some people. Now this code comes from the documentation. Okay, so no need to remember that for the bcrypt you need to use the gain salt. See, there are the lots of third-party library, and you no need to learn entire or every third-party library. Okay, so in this particular case, if you are using any of the library, go to the documentation and just check that what is the basic syntax it is written, how you can use that particular library. So from that you will get the code. So you have to write here in bcrypt.gain salt here 10, and now all this information, like this one parameter is a 10 and another argument is a function method. So you will get all these things. So this is the callback function, and here this is taking two parameter, one is the error and the salt, and here in this particular case bccrypt.hash, and you need to provide here your password, whatever password you want to hash, and the salt comes from the library, and then it's also provide you the callback method, which is this is the arrow method. You can notice you can also write in this way. For more information you can also write like this function, and then you can pass some of the parameter like err and slash, that second argument is the hash, and then as generally you are declaring a method, similar way you can declare a method like that, but here you can provide in this way as well. So this is the same thing. If you don't know about, if you have any kinds of confusion regarding the arrow method, then please let us know through the comment, and you can also come to the WhatsApp link where you can discuss with me that how you can utilize. However, it is very easy to understand. Okay, so here it is written in the arrow method. Now if err, agar, it means that if it is an error, then it will throw the error, otherwise it will do certain thing. So what it will do, it will save other details to the database, in a database. So new user dot password is equal to hash. It means whatever password you have hashed, you got it in the variable hash. Okay, you can also do in this way. I think you know already, you can understand like this. Here it should be here, it's not here, and now it in this way. Okay, so this is normal argument, so don't confuse. So now you got a hash, now you got a password, you have provided a password, and new user dot save, and new user means here is the data, and you have provided a name, password, and all these things, and you have saved it. After the save, you will get a message if user is saved. You can also console or log here. You just need to console.log, and here you write something. You can either variable you can console, or maybe anything you can check it. Like if you will console this user, then you will check that what is user data will be available, that saved user data will be available here. So you can also check it. So this type of thing you have to check at your end. So if you need this particular project for your learning, then just come to the come to the WhatsApp, and I will share this code. So it's already hosted in the GitHub, but in the description I am not providing this link. So if you will come to the WhatsApp, then I can provide you. Okay, now you understand. If everything is fine, then the success will be true, and the message is something like that. So you understand that how you can register the user and how you can use the JWT token. Now for the authentication, you understand that you have provided, if user will save, if user will try to log in, then you can notice here this one is a login. If some user will try to log in, then if the password will match, then you are providing one token as well, and this token for now next coming request, if any request will come, then you have to verify the token. If token will be verified, then you can proceed with their request. Means whatever request it can be, maybe you can save the data in a database, or you can retrieve the data from the database, or you can manipulate, or you can do certain kinds of operation. All these things you are freely you will able to do this. Okay, so now you understand. Now let's talk about the here profile. Okay, the profile, it means that now user is, as you understand that here if you will click here, then you can notice that user data is available, one thing. Okay, so as you can notice, if I will logged out, and if I will click here the login, and then one token is after that the front end will get one token, and you have to register that particular token maybe in the cookies or in the local storage anywhere in your browser. So the front end part will do like this, and now next coming request will get the token, and they will verify the token first and then proceed with your request. So this is the basic process of the authentication or JWT authentication. For more information, I have created one video regarding the authentication, how the authentication work. So however, this authentication series I created in the Angular, but this will also relevant in the React as well, because the process of the authentication is the same for any of the front-end application. Now in the profile, so we have utilized here the passport. Now the passport is for the authentication purpose you can use the password. However, you can verify the token, JWT token, very easily. You have to write some of the code and check that token is verified or not. If verified, then you can proceed with the request. But this is providing one argument only, one type of, where this will this will have a JWT, and this will check, try to authenticate, and if authentication will be happen, then after the authentication it means that they will verify the token. If token is verified, then user data they will provide the user data. So like this. Okay, however, this not looks correct. So now this user data is providing. The better is that you can verify the token very easily. So how you will verify the token? Just here type verify JWT token. You can also verify through the passport, or you can verify through a JWT itself as well. So like this, jwtwebtoken.io, this is the official documentation for the JWT. Okay, and JWT web token, it is for the Node.js. Okay, so it is takes little bit taking some time. It's okay. Now okay, this is the header, payload, string, something like that, but you have to find out the documentation, correct documentation, to verify the JWT token. So maybe this one. Okay, I will talk about these things later on. Go to the introduction, and here you may get it is taking some time, so I will talk about later on. So you will find the code to verify the token. After verification, you can do certain kind of operation. This is the basic functionality. And now let's talk about the reset password. So for the reset password, I will talk about in the next coming video. So thank you for watching.